Okay, so if you've ever worked with a green screen, you know that little moment of panic, right?
Why?
Someone walks on set with like wispy blonde hair, or worse, they're holding a water bottle.
The transparent objects.
Yeah,
The worst.
exactly. Those tiny details, the edges, the transparency, they're the absolute nightmare of post-production. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Datavideo DVK-400. It's a specialized piece of hardware that's designed to make those nightmares just go away in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission is to figure out how this $2,600 box takes professional 4K chroma keying from basically impossible to instantaneous.
And you really hit on the key problem. The DVK-400 is built to solve the fundamental flaw of doing this with software, which is, latency and artifacts.
Right, the lag.
The lag, exactly. To make a composite image look real, you just need dedicated power. This thing supports UHD 4K. It's made for green or blue screens. And it's so specialized because it doesn't rely on your computer to do all that heavy lifting.
So what's fascinating to me is how they get that jump in quality. I'm looking at the spec sheet, and it immediately highlights 10-bit processing and 4.4.4 color sampling.
The big ones.
Yeah. So for anyone listening, let's unpack that. Why is 4.4.4 color sampling so essential for avoiding those really nasty, fuzzy edges?
It's all about keeping the data. When you record video, most formats, something like 4.2.2, they're actually throwing away half of the color information to save on file size,
Okay.
especially in those fine detail areas, like hair. But 4.4.4 sampling, you combine that with 10-bit color, it means the DVK-400 is preserving every last bit of color and brightness data for the whole frame.
And that's what lets it see the difference between the actual green screen and the tiny bit of green light reflecting on someone's shoulder.
That's it exactly. It has all the information it needs to make a clean separation.
So because it's keeping all that information and has that dedicated processing, that's what lets it be a so-called network keyer. It sounds like they've basically put a hyper-specialized graphics card
That's the perfect analogy.
dedicated entirely to keying and just, put it in its own box.
Yes, the hardware is doing all the math. Your computer, your PC,
Yeah.
is just running the control software. The interface,
So it's not fighting for resources.
not at all. And that is absolutely vital for real-time 4K. If your workstation had to do that calculation, even a really powerful one would start to lag or you'd have to drop the quality. The DVK-400 just takes that whole problem off the table.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. The claim that this unit can handle the impossible keys. We're talking smoke, reflections, fine hair, and see-through glass. Is it really just that 10-bit 4.4.4 combo that unlocks that?
It's the foundation for it, absolutely. Those difficult elements are all about transparency and shadow. When you try to key smoke or water, you're looking for this really smooth transition from the opaque subject to the transparent background. If your system is throwing away color data, those transitions get all choppy and pixelated. But the algorithms in the DVK-400, they use that full data set to give you a clean key that actually preserves things like shadows and even light refraction through glass.
So if that's the muscle, let's talk about the finesse. The user controls. We see this garbage matte feature mentioned. How often is something like that actually used in a professional shoot?
All the time. Constantly. A garbage mat is critical for any live setup. Maybe you've got a microphone stand just at the edge of the frame.
Or a light stand.
Or a monitor, or someone's foot that's just outside the actual green screen. You can just digitally draw a quick mask around those things so the keyer just ignores them completely.
And then there's this post-processing feature. It lets you adjust brightness, contrast, and saturation of the foreground. But after the key has been pulled, why is that specific timing so important?
Because you have to make the foreground look like it belongs in the background's lighting.
Got it, to make it match.
Yeah. If your talent is keyed onto some dark, moody background, you need to be able to quickly drop their brightness, just a little, to make it blend. Being able to do that after the key's pulled, but before the final signal goes out, saves an incredible amount of time. It makes the composite look believable instantly.
And the whole physical workflow seems built for speed, too. It has all these I/O options, SDI inputs, which you need for that 4K signal. And it even has this nice little convenience feature, the mirror feature.
Right, for the talent.
Yeah, so they can actually see themselves in relation to the background objects live.
It all comes together, you see. The DVK-400 is really the definition of specialized hardware, solving a critical real-time problem. It takes what used to be a post-production headache, perfectly keying hair and glass, and just doesn't live because it isn't held back by the limits of a general-purpose computer.
So what does this all mean for you? If you're building a studio, maybe a broadcast or a high-end streaming setup that needs flawless instant compositing, this is basically the insurance policy against bad keys and crippling system lag.
Well said.
And finally, here's something for you to mull over. The unit has an auxiliary HDMI input. It's for an external map or text or other graphics. That single input means you can introduce an instant third layer into your real-time composite. What kind of advanced layered visual effects could you unlock just by leveraging that one extra dedicated input?